Series X developer responds to negative feedback regarding graphics, etc. Let's get into it. What is going on? It's a dude who is excited for the future of gaming, back again with yet another video, and this morning has been pretty interesting. A lot of hype going on, a lot of excitement going on, a lot of positive gaming news out there, and IGN hates Dirt 5 on Series X. No, they don't hate Dirt 5 on Series X, but they certainly don't have a lot of great things to say about its visuals running on next-gen hardware, while simultaneously uploading a 1080p, what looks like 10 megabyte, 20 megabyte per second upload of the gameplay. What? Oh, and also the developer, the technical director of Dirt 5 has responded to some of the feedback regarding the game and does back up a lot of what this video is stating. So I'll link that down below as well. We'll also go over that in this video. So if you didn't know, late night previews of Dirt 5 on Series X have gone out, and there are a few controversies. IGN have come out and said basically, hey, we're not impressed with the game. So before I really get into this and show the footage and really ask IGN a few questions, I think it's important for people to know that this is not an attack, but you know, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be super nice with some of my common sense questions. So this is Dirt 5 running on Xbox Series X from IGN, and immediately you guys may be noticing something. Hang on, this doesn't look as good as the gameplay you were just showing. You'd be correct, because this is not even captured in 4K. They captured this at 1080p for some reason, and I'm sure they're not the only ones. So again, this is just a video I saw a lot of people complaining about it. Regarding quality, I am talking to anyone that does what IGN are doing here. Any big corporate owned YouTube channel that does this, it's kind of ridiculous. First and foremost, you have to state the absolute facts here. It is a preview build. Not only that, but a preview build for a next-gen console almost a month before launch. Think about that. That means they've got it through certification with weeks notice. On top of being this early, the game is just not in its final form, and that's why they're calling this version of the game the preview build. Also, there are some people and outlets out there basically talking about how bad the game looks. The graphics? What? I don't know. It's almost like they didn't expect it to look like Dirt 5. You know, Dirt 5 from the trailers and the preview material and the demos and the gameplay that I've already shown off. But unfortunately for Dirt 5, it does look like Dirt 5. You know, the stuff that we've seen from it up to this point. And apparently it's just not next-gen looking enough on the Series X. And really, they didn't even show us what it looked like. But here are some of the things that they had to say. Another year for Forza, while it retools and reboots for next-gen, means that Dirt 5 will now play the role of the Xbox Series X's obligatory racing game at launch. And racing games, of course, traditionally act as graphical showcases for your new console. Well, I mean, the Xbox One had Forza 5 when it came out, but did Forza? There were no Forzas at the launch. Yeah, I don't know. That's odd. McCaffrey says you show them to your friends and they can see what your $500 got you. Well, after playing a couple hours of the off-road focused Dirt 5 on the Series X, my eyeballs are disappointingly unmelted. I don't know, it's looking like you might want to show your friends Valhalla or something else that's known for graphics, not Dirt. just saying. Anyway, now he does say to Dirt 5's credit, it's not to say that it looks bad, but he didn't even think it outclassed 2018's Forza Horizon 4 in the graphics department. Well, again, it is Dirt. It's not Forza, right? So it's two different teams, two different engines, two different technologies, two different dev cycles, two different amounts of resources. One's third party, one's first, you know, there's a lot of things. I would never have even expected, I never thought that once actually thinking about it. Dirt 5 better look better in Forza Horizon. They say Dirt 5 looks nice, but not amazing. It's got 120 Hz mode for the Series X, which I can't show you properly in this video, thanks to limitations of his gameplay capture equipment or the player that you're viewing it on. So, I mean, that right there tells us something. So I think these guys are still using like a 1080p Elgato USB capture device. He says there are 3 different visual modes on the game, and the 120 Hz mode is not quite the jaw-dropping experience he was hoping for. Now, first and foremost, regarding the reason most people are angry at IGN, regarding the fact that it's 2020 and you guys are still capturing at 1080p on a product like this, you need to do better, okay? I've been capturing in 4K since 2017. I mean, if I can do it, I mean, I live in a dumpster behind Wendy's, all right? I'm not a corporate YouTube channel with 10 million plus subscribers, so again, it's not that hard. It takes a little bit of investment, but, quit being lazy, get on it. Now, the Dirt 5 technical director has actually responded to some of the negativity about the build of the game and confirmed a few things. Now, after watching Digital Foundry's video, he said genuinely got a little emotional watching this video. Now, I'm not sure why he got emotional. Maybe it just really sucked seeing people harp on things that are not even an issue anymore. Maybe all that hard work and what he knows the product is, and to have people harp on such negativity on a build that's a month before release is kind of probably pretty ridiculous to him. But either way, he does say Cheshire Studio have worked very hard on the game. The game is not finished, and we've made a lot of improvements since this build. Now, that last sentence alone makes so many people I've seen on Twitter look really more stupid than they already make themselves look by celebrating the fact that an Xbox game, which is also on PS5 by the way, has some kind of technical issue or is not being perceived well. You know, the ones that think this is a hardware related issue, right? And for the media, the ones that are refusing to really show an indicative representation of a high performance product and refuse to upload above 1080p at -40 megs per second. At the end of the day, if you're reviewing or previewing Series X games at a much higher resolution, then it's really your job to make sure that you have what is needed to actually represent the product, especially when you are chastising visuals of the product. This goes for both Xbox and PlayStation. Nobody wants to see a beautiful game look like trash or look like a quarter of what it's supposed to look like because somebody didn't decide to invest in their hardware. So with that said, understand that that's one of the main reasons that people are kind of annoyed by this, because if you're going to buy a Series X, then you probably have a 4K display. And if you're going to review one or talk about how one looks and really chastise it for not looking next gen, even though it looks like the PC version, like there's no actual comparison between any of the versions, and you know it's going to look like the PC version of the game. I was also kind of puzzled by why everyone expects Dirt to look incredibly different all of a sudden from not only the pre-release materials, but every other Dirt ever made, right? Apparently this is supposed to be Hellblade 2 now. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Codemasters have never really touted the visuals of the title, right? I know it's going to be a pretty good looking game, but at the end of the day, they've only ever really touted the 120 FPS as the big thing for them. The game looks almost exactly how I thought it would look after looking at some higher quality uploads, of course. I mean, chat, am I going crazy here? The game doesn't even support ray tracing on any system, and I think IGN expected 120 FPS to be something like a graphics booster or something. I mean, the screen refreshes twice as quick. It lowers latency. That's it. But again, you got to understand who you're talking about here. Codemasters, right? All of a sudden, this is supposed to represent the entirety of next generation. Now, apparently, there are some frame rate drops in the quality mode. There's some issues going on with the 120 frames mode. Again, they do confirm not a final build. They've made many improvements to it since, and it will be patched. I've seen people out there picking apart screenshots at the 120 frames mode, not knowing how crazy it is to even get a console that runs a game at 120 frames per second. Question real quick. I mean, for the guys out there that are taking shots at Codemasters about this, right? Do you think the game is going to look much better on the PS5 or better or even the same, or especially in the 120 frames per second mode? I mean, ultimately it comes down to the developer, but math is not on your side. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to put my thoughts out there. I thought this was a weird angle by IGN. Actually, here's another one. Just looked. McCaffrey tweets about Yakuza, yes, Yakuza, and basically how this isn't it didn't, you get what I'm saying? This isn't next gen. Is it that IGN are taking this negative approach to next gen consoles purposely, or will it be for every platform? Are they going to do it for every game, or does there need to be the Red Dead 2, the Metro Exodus, the Rise Son of Rome moment at launch of the system, which we know there is not for any platform this year? Let me know what you think about that down below. And again, this is extremely capable hardware that will only bring you more and more gorgeous games over time. If you go in knowing that a Yakuza game or a Dirt game isn't going to blow your face off with its graphics because, you know, none of them have ever done that ever, well, then you're probably going to be okay. If you go in knowing that you get 60 FPS at a very high resolution with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, yes, a big, beautiful open world Assassin's Creed game at next generation / PC frame rates, well, then you're going to be very happy because that's what you're getting. If you're expecting ray tracing, well, you're not going to get that at launch, unfortunately. Apparently, due to GameCore, the code needs to be progressed a little bit more, and developers are patching that in after the fact, and that comes down to Microsoft. That's on Microsoft's head. But again, it will be there, and you don't have to upgrade day one. That's why it's important to watch multiple reviews and see what kind of you come away with. That's one of the great things about this generation that people aren't talking about, the fact that you're not locked out of the ecosystem, that your friends move on and you can't talk to any of them or play with any of them or have any of your games. This is called flexibility, and last time I checked, this is a great thing. So let me know your thoughts about all this stuff down below. Again, no attacks on anybody or anything here, just factual information and my opinion on their opinions or their perception or their perspective, if you will. And I think that's okay. If you're still here, hit that like button, show a buddy or two, hit that retweet button, subscribe for more. Also, big shout out to those of you that take the leap for the patron, the channel memberships. You guys are amazing. Check the links down below. If you missed my last podcast, it should be one of the last videos on the channel. We had Aaron Greenberg on and it was a blast. But hey, I'll see you guys in the comments. I'm Dealer. I'm out.